Right, thank you everyone for being here. Claudia, the whole team.
Lynette,
Yes, I saw your welcome email.
thank you.
Awesome. Eddie, Mon, Maureen will be in here. Sylvia, high five. So those watching the recording, Sylvia Ramirez is our education director at Southland Regional Association of Realtors. She covers everything with MLS, car forms, so much more, so many of the resources that we have through our local board. Even if you happen to be a greater LA, I believe our MLSs are different. Very different. But if you are with SRAR, this is the class that will cover the tips, tricks, basics, the hacks, the fundamentals of searching, of running. I want to say you wanted to find comps in areas which Claudia can cover. I mean, Claudia, sorry, I was looking at Claudia over there. And then of course, Sylvia will be able to kind of cover for all of us. Why are you in the waiting room?
Oh, that's the one I just.
Oh, okay, cool. And that's on the recording. My bad. Alan's in. We got another veteran here. So it does sound like you can hear us. Awesome. Good to see you. So you might want to just turn that off or thanks. But no, we're solid on sound and do your thing and crush it. I'll have to leave in a little bit, but you guys are in good hands with Sylvia.
Okay,
You don't mind if I have my lunch while I watch?
of course not.
Thank you.
I drink the breath. Okay, everyone, thank you guys for having me here, first of all. And what I want to do is just go over some basic tips and tricks, because some people say, well, I didn't know you can do that. And I want you to feel free to jump in at any time, or if you want to say, Sylvia, can you repeat that? I'll repeat it, because sometimes I go a little bit too fast. I try not to, but yeah, let's just jump right on in. And I mean, we can go over, if you wanted to do a basic comp, you know, maybe.
Trying to get
All right, so,
all I can get.
okay, so first of all. Okay, so what we're gonna do first, and I'm gonna do a little bit of the basic search, only because sometimes, and even I didn't know these things, okay? Until I started working on this end. I've been employed with Southland Regional for 17 years, an instructor for 6 years. Okay, so we're gonna go into search. And the one thing that I like to show is all the different types of searches that we have. A lot of people don't realize that underneath the cross property, what is that? Cross property is, let's say you have a client that's looking for a residential lease or a residential active. Two types of properties, you would use the cross property, okay? I'm gonna scroll down to another area, which I know a lot of us don't use because I just discovered it. And the public record, okay? Public record, what is that? That is your shortcut to realist tax. When you're looking up property information, you go to realist tax, but the shortcut is the public records. What I like about public records and what I found out is that you can, in the public records, not only search for homes that are not in the MLS system, but let's say I need to print label. Let's say you do farming in a certain area and you want to print labels. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys real quick how to go in that, and we are going to click on property search. Okay, and then what we'll do, instead of entering in any of the information in the criteria, now remember, we're doing this for farming, we are going to go into the map. And the first thing that you'll do when you're going to map is, let's say, I'm going to line out, mine is already set that way. Okay, I'm going to line out a neighborhood that I do farming. Okay, and how I do that is I'm going to just draw around from street to street. I'm going to highlight my little pencil here, and then I'm just going to do a real easy drawing, just for an example. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to go to. I'm going to go back over to my criteria. Okay, I have 434 matches. Now I'm going to click on results. My results, as you see, will give me the address, the male or owner's name, and previous price. Okay, so now what I'm going to do to print labels. I'm just going to select all, And as I select all, I can go to the bottom and click on print. Once I click on print, I have the option of what do I want to print. I'm just gonna select one with owner, property owner, address, let's do occupant, or owner, property address. Let's do that one. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna preview. Well, of course, we're not printing, but I just want to preview. There's my label.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's, I like that little trip. I just discovered it not too long ago, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I love that. I didn't know. I
Yeah.
could do that.
Because sometimes we think we need this whole other program to do it, okay, but,
How did you get from here to the?
okay, so let's go back. Okay, so what I did is I went to print.
Okay, so
I wanted to go to preview, but it didn't let me.
how did you choose the name that you wanted on there?
Okay, so let's go back.
Okay,
Okay,
right there.
so what I did is I checked the box and I selected all of them.
Oh,
The
okay.
very top box will select all that's in there, and I had like 434.
And then print that up.
And then, yes, and then once I selected the print, I mean, the box, my action toolbar is not lit up. Once I select one, the action toolbar lights up. Okay. All right. And you guys know that if you guys ever have any questions, you guys can always reach out to me, okay? I'm there to help, even an email. Okay. All right, so that's one thing that I really like. Another thing that I like, I'm gonna use the shorthand, okay, the shorthand, and I'm gonna use my home as an example. In the shorthand, let's say you have a client that says, hey, I just drove by this property, this is the address. And you can enter it in the shorthand or MLS number, okay? But the thing is that people do not realize it will only work for single family homes. It's not gonna work if it's a condo, townhomes, unit numbers, okay? So in the shorthand, you would just enter in the street number, the street name, just like I have it, and hit enter. Now, this property appears 3 times because it's been listed in the MLS system 3 different times, okay? If it was a property that was never been in the MLS, a single family home, then of course, nothing would come up. And then you can go to the property, the tax one that I showed you guys. Okay, so that's another thing that I like. I showed you about the labels, I showed you about that. Okay. Another thing that I like here, I'm gonna go into Big Bear. I'm gonna go into one of my saved searches, and this is what I have came up with. I know it was there, but I came up with it because I had one time one of our members come up to me telling me that she wanted to give information to a client, but she wasn't sure if the client was really her client or just picking her brain, okay? So I said, I got it. I know what you can do. You are not gonna send her a portal, a link to your MLS system. You're gonna send her a flyer, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and pick up some listings. Okay, and I know that some people will go a different route when they're sending email flyers. They'll come over to this display the agent one line and using the drop down arrow, they'll go that route. Okay, but I don't go that route, okay? I go to print. And the key thing why I select print, because in print, it gives me the option of how I want it to be viewed by my client. Okay, so we're gonna go to print.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that when I was printing out stuff to take, you can leave certain things off.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted to do, yeah.
So in here, the first thing that you want to look at is in towards the middle of the page where it says print, make sure that your header and footer is there. Because lots of times I notice that when I'm doing one-on-ones, I'm noticing that it says without header and footer. That means not your information on there. Okay, so we're going to go with that. And then I'm going to go over to select customer. Okay, and the customer I am selecting is customer flyer, no address. Okay, now we're going to preview. And this is what it looks like. The header is my information on top. It gives listing ID, it gives the map, you cannot remove that. It gives you the description of the property, and then it says presented by your name. Okay, then as you scroll down, it gives you the photos of the inside of the property. That's listing number 1, and then listing number 2. Again, your information. Okay. I like this because your information is everywhere. And the client knows if they are interested, they're gonna call you. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so any questions so far?
I didn't get all those pictures, I only got one. When I.
Because,
I think. it should-
okay, see, thank you for that, because I did leave out one area. See where when I was telling you guys about to make sure the header and footers there,
Yeah,
I checked the box where it says print with rollouts, meaning the photos that belong to.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
now I
so
get it.
you want to do that. Okay. All right, now,
Got it.
let me go back to my results. I was gonna show you something. I kind of forgot. Okay. Let me uncheck all these. Okay, so another thing. And you know, you guys, if you feel like, oh no, we already know that, you don't need to tell us, okay. Another thing is what I think is helpful is the days on market. How do you read the days on market? Okay, so I'm gonna select one, and over towards the right hand side, you'll see DOM, meaning days on market, / CDOM, that's continuous days on market. I'm gonna select the listing that you notice the numbers are different. Okay, let's go in here and we're gonna see why. Okay, so days on market is 99. Okay, so what that number 99 is referring to this listing ID, this very same listing. Okay, the continuous days on market, the CDOM,
Previously.
it's the property history. So anytime that the property's been listed in the MLS, it's going to give you all the history. If you click on the CDOM number, it will tell me back in May 2019 is when the property became active in the MLS system. And then of course it went to expired, X is expired, then it was listed again, then it went to pending and sold in 2021, and then active again in May 2022, canceled in July, active again in August of 22, and then it changed the price in September of 2022. Okay, so this will give you all the different times that it was listed. These right here under list agent, these are the different agents that have had this listing. Okay, that's their help information. And the
What
reason,
does it estranged mean? They're no longer an agent?
no, that's their listing ID for different MLS.
Okay.
Because
Oh, I see, it's only this one.
yeah, because in the system here, in the My Matrix, in the system here, you guys, we data share with about 55 other MLSs. So all their listings in here, and that's why you'll see the different listing ID numbers, like ours start with SR, one will start with X, the other one will start with was it the S?
SR.
Yeah, okay. All right, so back to the DOM and the CDOM. The reason why these two are different and not the same is because the listing agent did not wait a full 90 days before they entered it into the MLS system again. And that's why those numbers are different. Sometimes some people I've noticed will say, oh no, that's been on this, it's been on the MLS for too long. What's wrong? What's going on? But that's why those two numbers are different there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go back to my agent one line to get back to the list of the properties that I have. What do? Do I hit the back arrow? No. Click on agent one line. It'll take you back. Okay. When you are doing a search, let's say I need to go in here, I need to change the criteria. I know I have this saved as 400 and below. Let's say I need to change the criteria. I'm going to click on the criteria tab. And then it brings me back here. And I could go ahead and change whatever it is I need to change. Okay. Let me change my price here. Okay, I have 13. I'm going to go to my results. Okay. So that's another thing. Okay, so now when you have listings that you're looking at, and let's say, you know what, I have to get on the phone with my client in 10 minutes. I don't have time to look at each 15 listing one by one. There is a shortcut that how you can view the listings all at once. Over in display where it says agent one line, using the drop down arrow, you will go to agent short. Okay. And this is how you will see it. Okay. So one thing that I have to let you guys know, this is great. It's short. Everything's boom, boom, boom right there. But anytime when you are viewing the listings, if it has the word agent in front, you never want to send that to your client because they will have listing agent information. Okay. If you like the way this is viewed and you want to send something like this to your clients, you can go ahead to the display and change it to customer short.
Oh,
And there we go. It removes the agent, listing agent information. Okay. Yeah, so this is something that I think is really helpful. Just remember that you never want to send anything that has the word agent in front of it to your client. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here and I am going to show you guys how to set up your information so that way you know how I have the header and all that information. Okay, so whenever before I get in there, whenever you, let's say you forgot or you don't remember, that happens a lot to me. I don't remember, did I send an email or did I not? You know what, I don't want to have to send it again. How can I find out? Okay, I can go to the My Matrix and it will be all my sent emails that I have sent out. Okay, so that's another. All right, so we are going to go in and set up your information, and this is the information that your clients will view. We will go to summary under My Matrix, and then we will go to settings. Okay, then after settings, my information is the very first one. We're going to click on that. And this is your information that the system already has in it. Okay, so you'll notice to the right side, there is override, and then you have all the boxes. What was going on here? Okay, what happened here is it has my office email address. Well, I didn't want my client to have the office email address. I only want them to have my direct email. So in order to remove that, I just click the override box. And then I have to clear the field. Okay. And then of course I will click on save to save it. Another thing that I've heard quite often is some of our members don't use the legal name that's on their real estate license. They're known by a different name. They can also change their first name here. So of course you would check the override and then type in the name that your clients, everyone knows you by. Okay. So that's for the information. Remember, this is the information that your clients will receive. We're going to click on save. Okay, the next tab over is header and footer. Header and footer is where I selected my header. Right underneath is the gear. It says select a different banner. Okay, we have that. If you click on there, you will have 73 different ones to choose. Right under there, it has an area that says upload a custom banner. And I've noticed that a lot of our large offices like Keller Williams already has their own banner. So you can upload and add it here. Okay. To select a banner, we're going to click on select a different banner theme. And here's all of the banners we have. When you find the one that you like, to the left is a round circle, click on that, and then go to preview. You can add a photo. No photo. I don't know. I think photo's nice. And then the information that's in the header is under the branding. Using the drop down arrow, you can select in the order that you want it to go. And then as you scroll down, I always say yes to a footer. So that way when the client receives the email, the top is my information and the bottom is also my information as well. And of course, with the branding here is how I would select what I wanted there. And what we did is I'm putting different information. Like in other words, I put in the header, I put my cell number, my direct email, in the footer, I put the main office and my direct office line. So I've given the client 4 different ways that they can contact me. Okay. Then once you're done, you're gonna go ahead and click on save. Okay, so let's say you know, just like this morning, you found this property and you don't remember where it's at because you didn't save it. How can you go back and retrieve that property? Okay, over under recent searches, you can click on this. And it's going to give you all your recent searches. It will go for the last 50 searches you've done, and it will stay in here for up to like 30 days. Okay, so that's another thing. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go into search, and let's say I am looking for fixer-uppers. How do I search for fixer-uppers? Okay, I went into quick because that's my favorite way to search. You can use detailed or whichever one you feel comfortable with, but that's my favorite because detailed is too detailed for me. Okay, so in quick, what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm looking for active single-family homes. And I need to find fixer-uppers. So I'm going to scroll towards the bottom to where it says public remarks. Okay. In the public remarks, I need to put in a key word. But what a lot of people forget is you have to put the asterisk. Go ahead and put fixer, the asterisk before and after the word. Okay. I have 332 matches. I know I didn't pick a city or anything, but I'm just trying to show you how to find that. Okay, then I can also go to the private remarks and put in the word fixer as well, and my matches drop to 31. And the reason is because I am telling the system to look for the word fixer in both public and private at the same time. Okay, so you could kind of like play with this, you know, maybe remove it from public and search on private. Can do that, but I have 82 matches now. Okay, so that's when you're looking for something specific. All right, so now another question that has come up is I need property that has an ADU, right? Everyone wants an ADU. Okay, so I said, how do I find that? Okay, so again, what I did is I went all the way to the bottom, and in the bottom it has additional fields. So, you know, whichever one you choose, whether it's detailed, quick, or CMA, they all at the bottom have additional fields. In other words, where you could customize it. Okay, so I need to make sure that I find property that has ADU. So I'm going to go ahead and click on add remove so I can add that field. And in the search box, all I simply am doing is typing in ADU. Oh, look what happens. There's just so many to count, right? Which one do I choose? And it's simple for me. I just want it yes or no. Does it have an ADU? So what I did is I just scrolled all the way to the very bottom, property ADU, YN, highlight it, clicked on add, and it comes over. Okay. So now, as I'm doing my search, I can go to my property ADU, yes or no. And add a yes. Okay, 386 matches. I know I didn't put city in there or anything like that. Okay, so let me clear all of this, what I'm doing. Okay. Now, any questions so far? No? Okay. So another thing that I've discovered from some of our members is when they are searching by city, they go ahead and type it in, okay, which is fine, okay. I always like shortcuts, especially if I'm searching for more than one city. There used to be a time where, guess what? I didn't know I could add like 3 cities in there, okay? And that was when I used to work in the membership department. They just said, here's your user ID and password, go ahead, okay. So let's say I'm looking for more than one city. To the right of that city field is a box. I'm going to click on that. And in the search box, I will type in. Spelling it wrong. Beverly Hills. Hit add. Need another city. Okay. Highlight it, click on add. Let's do one more. Highlight it, click on add, and okay. So that's the shortcut of entering more than one city. Okay, so I have 181 matches. I have not even entered in a price or anything yet. Okay, so for price. I'm only gonna go over this because I know some of you already know about prices, but I'm just wanting you guys to know, because a lot of times I had actually my son-in-law say, I'm putting it in, and I said, well, you didn't come to my class, that's what you don't have. But okay, so for price, I'm looking for some single family homes in those 3 cities, and my amount is 850. Okay, I have only 3 matches. Why only 3? I know for sure, and there's properties at that price, okay? But the reason why only 3 matches is because the system is looking for exactly $850,000. If that is my limit, like let's say I'm not looking for homes above 850, what I'm going to do is enter a minus right next to it, and I'm telling the system to look for 850 and below, and now I have 52 matches, okay? If you want to search for properties in a price range, you can also do that. You would, I remember there's never any decimals, you would, and no space, you would just put the number right next to the minus. And then it changes, okay? So that's in a range, when you want to look at a range. And the same goes for bedrooms. Like let's say my client says they have to have 3 bedrooms. I'm going to enter the number 3. My match dropped down to 18. If I put a plus, it goes back up because I'm saying 3 or more. And the same with the bathrooms. Okay. So those are some little helpful tips right there. 2 and plus. Okay. All right. Now, did you guys know that you can search for inventory of another agent in here?
Yeah,
You know why? How I found out?
yeah.
Because I was looking for property with like when the market had crashed and oh my goodness, it was hard. I said, you have to know somebody in order to buy, okay? So yeah, I went into search and this is what I did. No, I went into search, okay? We're gonna go ahead into detail. This is the only time that I ever use detail, okay? I don't have my, oh, there she's now. I went into detail. I'm gonna look for active person. Coming soon, okay? I'm looking for,
Go to the bottom.
okay, then we're gonna scroll all the way to the very bottom. And where it says list buyer agent, and of course, I will put the agent's SRAR number, but of course, you guys don't know the numbers. But you can find them simply by clicking on the box that's to the right of the list co-agent. Click on that box, and you can search by name. I'm gonna use my friend that I've known since junior high school. Okay?
Oh,
Okay, so I noticed Dean has 2 numbers, okay? I'm gonna use the SR number because I know he's an active member with South Bend Regional. I'm gonna highlight it and I'm gonna hit OK. It has 0 matches, but that's because I selected the statuses. Let me take this off. So that's how you would be able to find inventory.
That's a cool pick there.
Yeah, with another agent, okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of here. I have a few more tips. Okay. When I have searches and I save them as a favorite, and then they're right here in the widget. So as soon as I log in, they're right there. If I need to change a criteria, I can jump into manage. It's just easy to find.
Where do you mark it?
Okay. So what happens is that a lot of us don't realize when you're saving it. There is a little box that's right underneath the contact, and you're supposed to check that box.
Okay.
Okay. When you check that box, it'll save it right here on the homepage. A lot of us, we just bypass it, probably because it's not in bold letters. But remember, if you forget to save it as a favorite, you would go under the My Matrix and it'll be under Save Searches, okay? But I like it here because, you know, it's easy access for me. If I need to manage anything, I can go in there and manage, okay? Another thing that I found helpful was when I had, actually it was for my daughter. I set her up to receive emails, auto emails, okay, and auto emails. I set it up where 8 o'clock every morning, she was getting them, the emails. Well, before I would leave for the day, I could go on my computer and I would say, you know what, I know Sherry got the email this morning. What if something else was listed in between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., let's say, okay, how do I know that? Underneath manage, you'll see the word that says update all. I'm going to click on update all and watch what happens to the screen, okay? So what it's telling me is from 8 o'clock this morning, there's 4 new listings.
Oh,
I don't have to wait till tomorrow when my client gets the auto email. I can click on it right there and view it and decide yes or no. And that's how my daughter actually found the condo, is by doing this. Okay, so that's another thing. Okay. So up above my favorite searches, you'll see recent one home visitors, and that just will pop up a name of one of your clients when you set them up for the email. You set them email and it tells you that yes, they visited. It'll give you the date and time. Okay, but I am not always on my computer. What if I want to be notified differently? I don't want to be notified by email either. Okay, because I already get the email of whatever the client gets. What if I want to receive a text message? You guys know you can do that? Yeah. Okay. So we are going to go into the My Matrix. We're going to go to summary and settings. Portal notification settings. Okay. I love this about the system because I get to say, notify me when my client visits their portal, when they save a favorite, add a note, visits for the first time, and I selected, I want to be notified by text. I didn't select email because on the emails that they get sent out, I've already checked the BCC box, so I'm already getting email. But I want a text. What if I'm out and about and I want to get that notification? Okay, of course, you put your phone number in, just the way you see it there, no space, no, you know, just number straight out. And then you'll have to enter in your cellular provider. Click here to edit your, okay, so I'm going to click here just so you can see. It'll be a drop down arrow and you would select your phone company. And then you would click on send me a verification code. I'm going to get a text message. Then I get text. Yep, there it is. Okay, and then I have to save my cellular information once, and I have to hit save again. Remember that, save 2 times, because I got somebody say, I'm not getting the notifications. Save it 2 times. And you will receive text messages anytime you're, I mean, you have the option to choose. How do you want to be notified when they visit it?
I just got it.
Yeah. Okay, so that I think is pretty cool too. Okay, okay, did I go over anything else you guys want me to go over? Yes.
Can you go over the mobile app section of the MLS?
Yes and no.
I
Yeah, I'm filming. Oh, which one are you
you know,
doing?
like when you pull listings
Yeah.
or you want to send it to your client. How do you
Okay, so
attach?
the app that I use,
This is the MLS app. This is what I use.
okay, I use, there's 2 apps. There's the CRMLS and MLS Touch. I'm using SRAR MLS, and why do I use that? I think it's a lot easier to use versus MLS. I try to take a
Sierra
class,
MLS,
yeah,
that's the
okay.
one that I use.
So,
Where-
how much one you got?
I
Okay,
can't figure it out for the life of me.
okay, so let's do that afterwards, okay, so that way I can just continue, I'll show you that,
All right,
we'll go on it together.
cool.
I have a question regarding sending those notifications to you on your cell phone. Is that only happening when they actually open it, or is it when it gets sent to them?
When they open,
So when I get notifications, I get that.
yes.
So that means they're actually opening it,
Yes,
right?
they're actually doing. And that's a good question you have, because let's say, you know what, I wanna know, have they even opened it? Obviously, they haven't because you don't have that notification yet, but let's say you didn't set up the notification. There is a way you can tell when you go into my matrix, I'm gonna go into auto emails. And if this green right here was a red, that means they have not opened it,
Okay,
okay? So that's how you can in the system here. Okay, I think, I went over. a lot. Oh, you wanted to know about doing basic comp?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, basic comp, we are gonna go into search. I'm gonna go into quick. I am going to select coming soon. Active under contract, pending and closed. I am gonna select type of property. And then in the middle of the page where it says map. I am going to enter in the address, okay, but when you enter in the address, it has to be the street number, street name, and the zip code.
oh, okay, that's where I
Yeah.
missed that.
The system did an update, and we now have to enter in the zip code, which before you didn't have to. See, and then the system is gonna start thinking, it
Okay.
says, did you mean? And yes, that's what I meant, so I'm gonna click on it, okay? So then I have, without entering any other information, I already have 57 matches.
Okay, that's where I screwed up then.
Yeah. This area. And then, you know, the bedrooms. Some
You can
people,
kind of narrow it down by.
Yeah. the 2 to 4, I'm gonna do 2 baths. Because it is 2 baths. I have 27 matches now. When you enter in the square footage, the living area. That gets a little tricky because if I enter in exactly what the square footage is, it's gonna really narrow down my numbers, and I wanna have a lot of listings to choose from. So sometimes, to tell you the honest truth, I don't even enter anything in there. But what you can do, if you want, you can go ahead and enter in, let's say a range. Let's see how that works out, so because see, there's only 6 patches now.
Yeah,
So that's an area you have to, if it happens to be the property that you're want to get the comps on happens to be an area where there's not houses close by, you can always change the miles. You can make it go out further more.
okay.
Okay, you can do that. But let's just go to results, just so I can show you guys real quick. And then,
And then say you want to send it to your client, you only want your information on it
Yeah.
and not all the other stuff.
yeah, so right here, what I would do, because I need to pick some active, some sold. Some active in a contract coming soon, so, but I want the properties that are closest to the subject property. So instead of me having to look at under the distance and see which one, I can click on the word distance. And it'll rearrange it, so that way it'll make the closest one to the subject property. So let's go ahead and click on distance. And here we go, I have 0.2 miles. And I need with a contract, I need to come in soon. Do I have any active? Here's another active. And another active. Okay. So again, before I started checking the boxes, my action bar was not lit up. I can now go ahead and click on CMA. Now, remember, you guys, this is a very, very basic CMA. Some people don't like it because they think it's too plain, but I don't know, sometimes I think in dealing with clients, the more simpler it is, the better, because it gets confusing, And then, of course, I'm gonna select my client. I've already added their information in here. And these other tabs on top, we just jump through them and it's pretty much nothing that you do in here. Okay, so right here, it's telling me, what do I want to add? These are the pages that are already selected. Why do I have 2 cover sheets? I don't know. Let me remove one, highlight it, click on the X. I want comparables and I want a map. Okay, so that's all added. The next tab is the subject. And you know, you guys, to tell you the honest truth, I have not entered anything in here. I know it says you could enter in a property ID to cross property, but you know, I have not done this. It just becomes a little bit more work. Okay, you know, I mean, if you have a property in mind, then yeah, go ahead and enter that in. Okay, going to cover allows you to add a photo of the property. And then of course you add in, you know, the address information. And comparables, it just gives you the listings that you chose to use as comparables. If you want to add more or remove, you can do so at this point. Click on add or select which ones you want to remove and you can do that. And then the map does not do a thing. It's just showing you a map of the properties you chose. And then we're going to go over to pricing. It just gives you a range. Okay. And then finish. Let's look at view. Of course, it's going to look really simple because I didn't add a photo. I'm doing it really quickly. But we can add a photo of the subject property in here. And it is pretty simple looking report. Let's take it on. I think that's all there is to it.
But that's pretty good for an open house, too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, any questions?
Yes,
Yes,
what's the difference between the CNA and the cloud CNA?
different programs. Cloud CMA, to be quite honest with you, probably looks a lot like.
Yeah, that's what I use.
But to me, to tell you the honest truth, I like these.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple. And, you know, you have to be like, you know, my training partner, Kit, she's a whiz at that. So she's the one that teaches the cloud. And she's just, she goes through that like nothing. Yeah. Okay. All right. No questions, guys? Did you want me to go over anything else?
Yes.
Oh.
You might want to show folks how to import information from one listing to the other by just clicking copy. That was huge.
Okay, I really don't do that one either.
Okay. Never mind. That's cool.
I figured it on the basic room.
I have a question. You said on the headers, when I was looking through them, there were all like scenes. Does Keller Williams have one of their own?
I believe they do. I
Okay.
believe they do, yeah, so.
You would have to fish through all of them or?
No, it's not in ours. You would have to let them ask them and they'll.
And then upload it.
Yeah, and then you can
Okay.
upload it. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I think we're done here. I know he said save the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes for questions. It's 1:45.
Well, because I'm brand new, I mean, a lot of the other people may already know, but because I'm brand new, can you just show me how I add a client then?
Oh, sure. Okay. So
Sorry,
again,
guys,
you are
I'm
going to the
like
My
so
Matrix.
green.
Or you know what, let me show you a shortcut how to get to the My Matrix tab instead of click here, click here, click here. Let's go to where your name would be. Using the drop down arrow, you're gonna go to settings. It's gonna take you right there.
Wait, what did you do? Start over, I'm sorry.
Okay. This is just how to get to your information
So
for,
my matrix.
okay. But you want to add clients, okay, so let's go home.
Oh,
We're gonna go to My Matrix. And then you're gonna go to contacts.
okay.
And then you're gonna go to the word add,
Oh, all right.
and then the information fields that have the asterisk next to it are the mandatory fields. So first and last name and the email address.
Okay.
Okay. So it's under me, I'm matrix.
Got it.
Okay. I think we are done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I had a class at 10 this morning. We're probably gonna do a lot of talking.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you answer the one with the mobile app or no?
Sure. I mean,
So let me show you what I mean,
that's still recording, so I don't know.
right here, right? Let's say I can run the property and I click this, pulls up listing, and I hit filter, and I customize, and everything is great. I want to send this to my client. So when I do that, it pulls up in open listings, right? But how do I fix it? You know, I only have three options. I don't have. This version.
Yeah. There we go.